Hello, my name is Peggy Meyer, and welcome to part 4 of Changing for Good, which is this book right here. So today I'm going to share the final stages in the book, Changing for Good, the maintenance and termination stages. This book also has a chapter on recycling, which is not technically one of the 6 stages of change, but is important to discuss, as most everyone experiences it. I will continue to share about George, a fictional character, and how these stages, processes, and techniques of change work in his situation where his wife told him he needs to change or he needs to leave. So in the previous stages of preparation and action, George set out a plan to be more present and intentional when talking with his wife on a daily basis, and to take her on a date night once a week and go out of town one night every 3 to 4 months without the kids, and go to the Bahamas with her in the winter. So before we get to George, we first need to talk about the maintenance stage of change. Maintenance is staying there. This stage takes all the work done in the previous stages and continues to build upon them. It is a busy, active period of change where one continues to learn new coping strategies for when old habits stare you in the face. It requires you to acknowledge that you can still be vulnerable to the problem behavior. In this stage of maintenance, it can be easy to slip back into old habits or problems as it takes a long time to successfully achieve, but it can be done. The most common threats to maintenance are social pressures, internal challenges, and special situations. Social pressures are just that, pressures by others to revert back to the old behaviors. Internal challenges deal with the constant struggle to not let negative thoughts and feelings overtake you. This can be a result of overconfidence that you can handle it, or struggling with the daily temptations of being around the problem behavior or substance and blaming yourself for lack of power. Special situations arise when you are confronted by extreme stress or an unusual, intense temptation that may lead to thinking, it's okay just this once, right? To engage in the problem behavior. So how do you maintain change? Keep up your commitment to change. Don't forget the tremendous effort it took you to get this far. Take responsibility for your part in all the changes you have made. Review the list of the negative aspects of your problem behavior that you wrote down earlier. This may help you be committed to maintaining your progress. Continue to keep a healthy distance from your problem behavior and maintain environmental control by not keeping problem items around. Maintenance is often associated with a new way of life. Often a person has made some lifestyle changes, possibly even finding new friends to hang out with. Continue to find ways to reduce and manage stress and find positive alternative behaviors. Check your thinking. What you think and say to yourself has profound effects on your body, your attitude, your ability to deal with your problem, and can potentially lead you to lapse. Be aware of your thoughts that can distort, deny, or rationalize the impact your problem behavior has had on you. Be honest with yourself. Temptations can and will arise. One way to help you with temptation is to choose a behavior pattern you want to follow. Then make a list of situations that will tempt you to abandon the behavior. Evaluate each situation on how confident you are that you could still behave the way you want. Which situations were you the least confident? Is there a pattern? Are there certain situations that are especially challenging to maintain the behavior you want? As an example, I'll use a situation I talked about in last week's video. You are avoiding any dessert-like foods. The break room at work is usually well stocked with these homemade goodies. Your plan to bring healthy snacks, go for a walk instead of going into the break room is working. But what about the office party once a month when they bring in some of the best treats from area restaurants? Some of your past favorites? How do you handle that? From this information, you can develop your own slip or relapse prevention plan using countering and environmental control processes and techniques. Keep a crisis card with you with a list of negative aspects of your problem, as well as a list of things to do if you are tempted, such as positive statements, the benefits of change, refocusing your attention on something else, exercising, and a number of a supportive person you can call. Helping relationships during maintenance are still extremely vital. It can be just as hard to keep up your progress during this stage as it can be during the action stage. Some people find that others are less encouraging now than they were in the action stage. It is still good to have a supportive, understanding person around to talk to when you're experiencing a situation that could lead to a lapse. Helpers can also engage in a role play exercise with you where you can try out responses to realistic situations that are tempting. This can help you practice your assertiveness skills for you to say no clearly and firmly, verbally and through your body language. They can also call you out on any excuses you may verbalize or be thinking about. Realize that you are not perfect. No one is. Maintenance takes patience and persistence. One slip doesn't mean total relapse, and it doesn't mean that you give up. Maintenance is a lengthy process. You will not get everything right all at once. We will talk about this next in the recycling, but first, how is George doing in the maintenance stage? Remember, George's plan was to be more present and intentional with his wife and go on a date night and a night away every few months and with no kids. So how is he doing? The first few weeks went pretty well, he thought. He put a reminder on his phone to go off before he left for work that reminded him to be present and engage in an intentional conversation with his wife when he got home. They went out on date nights each week, doing different things like going to a dinner, going to a movie, taking a drive, taking a walk by the lake. But he noticed that it was harder to maintain focus on being present in conversations with her. And he was kind of getting tired of spending all this time with her. He was thinking of what he wanted to do with his kids or the projects he wanted to get done or just relax and watch TV on, sports on TV. They started talking about where they wanted to, spend a night away, but they hadn't made any plans. They only mentioned the Bahamas in passing, but no action has been on it. Winter just got over. They had plenty of time to plan, right? This is the beginning of maintenance and the insights of recycling, which we will talk about next. Recycling is learning from slips or lapses. Slips and lapses will happen. How many people have made a promise to lose weight? Many, right? But how many gain the weight back? Again, many. Changing behaviors are hard. Slips or lapses are part of the process. When people slip, they often go back to the contemplation or preparation stage and get ready to take action again. Few, if any, completely relapse and go back to where they started before. It is important to learn what works and what doesn't work from your experiences and from the experiences of others. Here are a few lessons to learn from slips and lapses. Change takes time, energy, and attention. Your problem behavior didn't happen overnight, and neither will it disappear overnight. It may take up to 6 months or more of concentrated effort for the positive behavior change to become a habit that you don't have to spend daily energy on. What processes and techniques did you use? And did you use the right ones at the right time? For example, consciousness raising can backfire if you have inaccurate, scarce, or outdated information. Complications will arise. Changing one behavior might increase another. Be aware of this. Progress is not a straight line. Airplanes don't fly straight. They are constantly self-correcting to stay on target. Behavior change is a process like this. It takes a lot of course correcting to maintain the desired behavior. Little mini decisions often lead to maximum results or problems. Thoughts of just one won't hurt or just this once can often lead to slips and potential relapse. Negative emotional responses often precipitate a lapse. Negative emotions weaken your ability to think clearly, logically, and rationally. they make it harder for you to maintain your new positive behavior. If you have slipped up, how do you know you're ready for action again? Here are some questions you can ask yourself. Have you identified the major cause or causes of your previous slip or lapse? Did you have specific action-oriented processes to counter the situations and emotions that induced your lapse? Are you more informed about the cycle of change and how it relates specifically to your problem? Can you tolerate a slip or lapse without a total fall or relapse? Are you planning to make change one of your highest priorities for the next 3 to 6 months? Have you prepared yourself for the possibility of complications and for more than one change at a time? Can you put your newfound learning into action? If you have said yes to these, you are ready for action again. If not, spend more time preparing yourself on those things that you said no to. How do you know if you need professional help? The following is a list of reasons you may need professional help in changing your behavior. When you have tried to change but have not been successful on your own or with the help of family and friends. When you have become stuck and frustrated. When the problem is a long-term or reoccurring one that requires lifestyle change or changes, or lifetime challenges such as weight management or emotional distress. When you have no one else to help you. When you are unable to understand how to change or not able to apply the information you have learned, or when you are unable to comply to the action steps you want to take. All of these are potential reasons to seek help. How does recycling look like for George? Remember, after some time, George found it more difficult to maintain his focus and be present with his wife when they were talking. He was starting to feel that he was missing out on time with the kids. When he was doing stuff with the kids, he was worried about what his wife was thinking, if she felt left out, or if he wasn't spending enough time with her. Sometimes he felt that his wife was upset with him and wasn't talking to him like she did before she told him he had to change or she would leave. He decided to have a conversation with her while they were on one of their date nights. He found out that she didn't expect him to spend every night doing something with her. She actually preferred it if he didn't spend every night trying to please her. She missed having some time for herself. She could tell that he was trying to be more present when they talked, and she didn't feel left out when he wanted to do something with the kids. She looked forward to their weekly date nights, but told him those date nights didn't have to cost money. She actually liked it better when they worked on something around the house together, like yard work, gardening, fixing something, or just taking a quick walk a few times a week. George felt relieved and reassured that the changes he was making were for the better and that he was on the right track. So now let's talk about the last stage of change, termination. Termination is where you exit the cycle of change. It is the point you consider yourself free from the long-standing problem. Successful termination of a problem behavior has a lot to do with lifestyle change, mainly having a new self-image that is consistent with the healthier behavior. Terminators look, think, feel, and act with genuine confidence and are convinced they can function well without ever again engaging in or being tempted in any situation for their former behavior. This new, healthier lifestyle is essential for termination. It is a means of preserving your gains and promoting new growth. Continue spending time and energy on self-enhancing activities. Pursue your dreams. Live life to its fullest. Act on your potential to change and create a happier and healthier life for yourself. Termination of a problem behavior can be achieved depending on the problem and the person. Otherwise, one can spend a lifetime in maintenance. Either is fine because you win in either situation. The goal is to live a better, healthier life, and this can be achieved after contemplating a change, preparing to change, taking action, and learning through the recycling process how to move into a lifetime of maintenance or terminating the problem behavior for good. So how is George doing? Being present and spending more time with his wife has been very satisfying and rewarding. He has realized that being present, open, and honest is a skill that requires constant evaluation. He has accepted this is a problem that requires constant maintenance as well, as all relations should and do require. He knows he can't just do something once and everything will be okay for months. He still slips up every now and then, but through this process, he has learned that a little communication goes a long way in understanding. His wife is more open to sharing with him how she feels, and he listens and doesn't take it so personally and doesn't get upset about what she does tell him or when she tells him that he is slipping. They did go on a week-long second honeymoon to the Bahamas without the kids, and the kids survived, and they enjoyed it so much they're already planning a next trip next winter. So this wraps up what I've learned about rereading the book Changing for Good. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have gained a little bit of insight and knowledge you can use in your own life. If you missed the previous 3 videos where I discussed sections of this book, you can look them up on my Positive Solutions Facebook page or go to my Positive Solutions YouTube page for all my recorded videos. Thank you for watching, and please message me with any questions or leave your comments below. Have a wonderful day.